As much as the character of Vigilante is obsessed with Peacemaker, he should totally be gay. Or bi. Something. Welcome to my safe haven. Thank you guys for clicking on this video and joining me for another review here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. If this is your first time clicking on this video, hey, how's it going? My name is Michael, Black Gay Comic Geek. I always say the things that I love to talk about in my fantasy has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I like to talk superheroes, I like to talk comic books, I like to talk video games, I like to talk fantasy, I like to talk sci-fi, I like to talk black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you are interested in, hey, hit the subscribe button. Become one of the many safe Gaveneers that I have on my channel. Also, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, like, comment, watch, interact, share on this video for the algorithm so I can get this video out there and my channel out there so we can continue to grow the Black Gay Comic Geek channel and bring some representation in the movie, television review, video game review space. But anyway, I'm mad late. I'm on like CP time when it comes to this, but like I finally watched episodes 5 and 6 of Peacemaker. I know, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, most of you guys have seen it already, but if you haven't, we're gonna be talking full spoilers here. I'm not gonna go like fully in depth to episode 5. I'm just gonna like speed through most of that because that was like what, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna give my thoughts on episodes 5 and 6. So again, if you haven't seen it, we're going full spoilers for episodes 5 and 6 of Peacemaker. So anyway, let's jump into it. So episode 5 was called Monkey Dory. I'm not sure what that's a reference to. I could look it up, but I'm not. But yeah, so Peacemaker is obviously still upset that Economos, aka Diebeard, framed his father and had his father locked up. But I'm like, come on, man, he's a racist. Like, his ass should have been locked up, and he's a supervillain. But whatever. But I still love the banter and back and forth between all of these characters. Like the moment where John Cena, Peacemaker, was listing off all those names of people that Economos could have had arrested outside of his father. Like, that was all improv from John Cena. And it was fun. And that's the thing that I just really appreciate about this episode. Just the back and forth banter between characters. Like, it's fun. That's something I wish they would lean more into with regard to a lot of comics and movies and TV shows. Like, the thing that we really love about the MCU is seeing these characters that we never would think would interact with each other, finally getting to meet each other. Like, to see a Rocket Raccoon interact with a Tony Stark. And I wish they would lean more into that. Like, I want to see more scenes between characters just talking. One of my favorite moments in Hawkeye was in episode 5 between Kate Bishop and Yelena. I could have watched an entire episode with them just sitting at a table talking. And that's one thing I really love about Peacemaker. Like, yeah, there's some action and things like that, but a lot of it is just them bantering back and forth. But yeah, the action in episode 5 where they broke into that warehouse to take out all those butterflies, that was cool. That was dope. I really enjoyed that. And then like taking out the giant gorilla, I was like, is this a tease to Gorilla City? Are we gonna see Gorilla City in this show? Like, maybe Gorilla Grodd? Probably not, but when Economos stuck that chainsaw in the gorilla, I was like, and it was like all the blood and gore, again, blood, sex, gore, and magic. I was like, yes, I loved all of that. That scene, I love the scene, and I like how Vigilante, I don't know, like this character, I love the character of Vigilante, but how he's like, oh, I feel like Economos knew I wanted to use a chainsaw, and he used the chainsaw. I think he did it to fuck with me, and I'm just like, he needs therapy. Like, all of these characters need therapy, but I really enjoyed this episode. But speaking of, and I'm going to combine this also with my episode 6, because that's really, I just wanted to speed through episode 5, but this goes in conjunction with that. But I'm just like, especially because I mentioned before that I had access to all 7 episodes. So if I was a responsible content creator, I would have watched all the episodes in advance and pre-recorded my reviews so they were out, but whatever. But especially after having seen, I finally did go and watch episode 7, so I will be recording that in advance, probably tomorrow. But like, I'm trying to figure out, after having seen 7 episodes of this show, what is the point of the character of Adebayo, played by Danielle Brooks? Like, I love Danielle Brooks. I thought she should have played Stagecoach Mary in The Harder They Fall, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I love that she's in this, but like, her character is like really serving no purpose. And then why is she part of this elite group of Black Ops spy team? Like, she keeps talking about how she's not fit for this. She has absolutely no experience. Like, even in the episode 5 where she was teaming up with Peacemaker, like, of course they did the joke where she would shoot the person after he already killed them. But I'm just like, yeah, what is her, like, she serves no purpose on this team. It's not like she has tech savvy or anything. Like, I don't know, it annoys me. Like, you have this black woman part of this Black Ops team, and she's like the least qualified of the bunch. And the thing that irks me about it is, it just seems like her character was put there to make the character of Peacemaker seem not as racist as his father. Like, oh, you got this black woman that likes him, so he can't be that bad. I'm just like, sure, you can tell that story, I guess, but I'm like, but still give her a reason to be on this team other than that, like within the story, besides the fact that Amanda Waller put her there to plant this diary or whatever is in the diary in Peacemaker's apartment. But other than that, why is she there? What skills does she have? Speaking of skills, I guess one skill that she has is putting on Peacemaker's helmet and finding out that Myrn is a butterfly, because that's how episode 5 ended. And then, surprise, surprise, it turns out both Economos and Hardcore knew that Myrn was a butterfly already, which I'm not surprised about, because there was a look that Hardcore gave Myrn in last week's episode, episode 5, that I was like, oh, she suspects something, but I thought she suspected him and she was going to investigate and confront Myrn for being a butterfly. I didn't know she already knew, and he apparently, like, they were all working together. And yeah, like, so that part surprised me. And I also thought Myrn was potentially up to no good, but it turns out he's a good butterfly. He's like basically the Terminator to the T-1000. And it turns out even the great Amanda Waller didn't know Myrn is a butterfly, because regardless of Myrn's intentions, if Amanda Waller knew he was a butterfly, she would have had his ass like killed immediately. But speaking of murdering, Peacemaker's father, I can't think of his name, but the White Dragon, he ends up finally getting released from prison thanks to the 2 detectives, and now he set out to murder his son. And I'll tell you, that scene with him and his other Yahtzees, and they put on the white hood, and granted, it's not literally like the KKK because they have the horns to symbolize the dragon, but it's still pretty much the same thing. I was just like, oh, this is making me pretty freaking uncomfortable. But I knew what purpose they were, like, I knew they did that on purpose, but I was still just like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I want him to die. He needs to die immediately. He needs to die brutally. He needs to die as gory and as painful as, like, King Joffrey did in Game of Thrones. And speaking of dying painfully, like, dang, they killed Sophie, talking about before, where it was like, for the most part, ever since Peacemaker got called out in episode 1, no person of color has really died in this show. Well, that's changed in this episode where Sophie got taken over. So I guess technically she's not dead because the actor's still there, but she got taken over by Golf, who flew into her mouth and basically took her over pretty much. And I guess is now resuming his mission of world domination with the butterflies. And that scene where Sophie was walking into the police station with all those butterflies flying behind her with that music, like she's a monster, whatever that is. I Shazammed that song, because that song was pretty dope. And I was like, I could totally see myself playing it, like blasting this in the car radio. But the way that scene was shot, and when she like took over the police precinct and the prison, I was like, oh, this is a beautiful shot. Like, I love the way this is shot. Like, this is epic. I'm still hoping Hardcore and Peacemaker don't end up getting together, but it seems like they're going that route as she's becoming more endeared to his character. But yeah, what can you do? Like I said, Peacemaker and Vigilante need to get it on, especially with as much snake banter and back and forth. Like, it seems like those like enemies to lovers, people that, like, it just reminds me of like Xander and Cordelia in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, how they were constantly bickering, and then they ended up getting together. But anyway, so the episode ends on John Cena showing off more of his talent with him playing the piano, and James Gunn released like a behind the scenes after the episode ended showing that was actually him playing that song. And so we obviously know, based on the emotion that the character is playing, that song means something to him, and it probably connects to his brother, that we still don't know what happened with that. But yeah, I was like, dang, John Cena could play, like, I can read music, but I can't like play the piano. But yeah, it was an emotional moment for the character of Chris, Peacemaker. So I can't wait to see what ends up happening. Again, I'm saying this for you guys' purposes because I've already seen episode 7, but like to see what happens further on. And I don't have the season finale. But yeah, I'm still here for this show. I still really enjoy the show. Like I mentioned before, Peacemaker and The Legend of Vox Machina are my 2 favorite things to come out of 2022 so far. My ideal ending for season 1, though, is to see Vigilante and Peacemaker get it on at least one time. Give it one time. Come on, you mean to tell me when he was in prison? Because they did kind of hint that he did have sex with men before, where he tried to get with Hardcore, and he was like, come on, I haven't had sex with any woman, because he specifically said, I haven't had sex with any woman since I've been in prison, which means like, so he's been having sex with men, and he didn't seem to have a problem with that, staying that. So I'm like, come, just one time. But anyway, the question is, what did you guys think about these episodes of Peacemaker? What are your thoughts? Do you have a favorite episode so far? I think mine will probably be episode 3. Maybe episode 4. I don't know, but I like all the episodes so far. There's not an episode that I saw where I was like, oh, this was kind of weak. But that's just my opinion. What's your opinion? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you can, hit that thumbs up button. It'll really help with the YouTube algorithm. And if this is one of your first time checking out one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.